All right, let's see. You guys ready? Thank you for being here. Okay, go live. All right, good morning. Let's get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Giovanni Gonzalez, and today we're going to start with a quote. I often don't start with a quote, but today, since it's a leadership and business day, I'm going to start with a leadership quote. And this one comes from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And he says, a great person attracts great people and knows how to hold them together. A great person attracts great people and knows how to hold them together. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Atlanta. Good morning, Southeast, East Coast, West Coast, wherever you are at the time that you're looking at the Daily Huddle. Thank you for being here. We know it is not a small thing that you're here. You had to do something, move your coffee, move your breakfast, move your lunch, or just be someone who's up to your own growth and development to stop by. And we want to thank you for being here. It is not a small thing that you're here, and it is not a small thing that you woke up. Really, we like to say around here that the way you start your day gives you the rest of your day. How you start your day gives you the rest of the day. And the way that you live each day gives you the rest of your life. There's something about the power of the morning. There's something about it. Well, welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about something really cool, really interesting. If you're someone who's interested in growing a business, or if you're interested in supporting the business that you're in, or if you're interested in growing as a person, this is a conversation for you. So if you're interested in growing a business, or if you're interested in growing the business that you work for, or if you're interested in growing as a person, this is a conversation for you. We're going to be talking about how to develop the talent of the people you work with, how to develop the talent of your team, even if you think they don't like their job, or even if you think they're not interested, or even if you think they have no talent, or even if you think they're in the wrong place, or whatever vision you have or notion you have about the people you work with, even if you think that, you can still develop their talent. So we're going to be talking about that. But before we go further, we want to anchor ourselves to be here. So we have a few questions. So I have my man, Stan. Stan, I have 2 questions for you.
Yes, sir, Gio.
What time is it and where are you?
Wow, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, the time is right now, Gio. Yeah, time is right now, man. The only time that there is. And what am I grateful for? Is that what you have?
Yeah, no, where are you?
Oh, where am I? I'm right here, Gio. I'm right here, man. Right here, right now, in this body, in this place, on the Daily Huddle. I'm here, man.
The time is now, and I am here.
Yeah.
Unscapable. Lela, good morning. Great to see you. Two questions for you. One thing you're grateful for, and who are you going to hug today?
I'm grateful that I am who I say I am. And what was the second question? I was trying to remember the answer.
One thing you're grateful for today. One thing you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for you all. I'm grateful to be in this group. So I'm grateful to be alive.
Love it. And one person you're going to hug today.
Oh, again, I'm going to hug each and every one of you, including my husband who's in this house. I'm going to hug every one of you and give you all the love that I have in my heart.
I love it. Thank you for your hugs, your digital hugs. We welcome them. I love digital hugs. I feel them, Lela. I feel them. All right, very good. Well, here we go. Let's get started. So today's conversation, I said, we're going to be diving into this world of leadership. And this also includes your children. This also includes your significant other. This also includes your family. This includes anyone in your life that you want to make a difference to. And this also includes yourself, right? And so the question is how to develop the talent of the people you work with. How do you develop the talent of the people you work with? How do you help people grow? Even if you think they're not interested, even if you think they don't like their job, even if you think they're in the wrong place, whatever notion you have, they're already there in your life for a reason, right? They're there in your life for a reason. So one of the big traps, so let's dive into it. One of the big traps that someone who is interested in a conversation like this one is to look for commitment in people. You know, like if people are committed, so you go around the room and looking for commitment, looking for commitment, looking for commitment. If you're committed, then then you're going to perform better. So people who are interested in developing talent, people who are interested in developing a community or developing their family, they're looking for commitment. And so we judge our actions and we judge our thinking and what we're going to do and we're not going to do based on the notion of commitment. So I want you to consider, right? This is something to consider, not something not like the truth with the capital T, but I want you to consider that people are already committed, that they're always committed to something. They're always committed. If they're with you, working with you or doing something with you, they're committed. What is in their way to develop themselves is not the lack of commitment. It is something else. And if you could, as a person who's interested in leadership, if you could stand there, then your mind and your brain will begin to be curious about, well, what is it that I can say that triggers the commitment that people already have in their own talent, in developing their own growth and development? What is it that I can't say? So that's completely different from thinking, I wonder if this person is interested in their own growth and development. I wonder if this person is interested in developing different standards and developing integrity for themselves. I wonder if that person is interested in that. You no longer think that way. You're actually thinking, oh, I wonder how I can trigger what's already in them. So that's the first, that's an important shift. Absent of doing that shift, if you're someone interested in developing your leadership, then you are at the mercy, then you're dealing with your own interpretations, then you're hooked with your interpretations rather than actually confronting your leadership, on the court. I hope that makes sense. Now, for the next thing I want to say, and then we'll talk about it all together. It is critical, really, really important to settle on a particular notion, to settle on the notion that there is no growth without other people. And there is no, if you will, there is no opportunity of a business without people. Your growth doesn't happen in a closet or in a vacuum. Everything that you're up to has happened because of the support of other people. Or everything that you are going to be about will happen because of other people. Now, and absent of noticing that and really settling on that, the brain, your thinking will always be somewhat individualistic, somewhat. And the thinking of a person who doesn't settle on, my gosh, there's no growth without people. No matter how much I want to become really good at something, absent of discovering that, absent of seeing that, then my brain is not going to really be interested in developing others. My brain is going to be thinking really like, I can do it on my own. I can just do things by myself. I can do it better than other people, in fact. And so it will continue, my brain will continue to develop evidence and look for evidence on how to become better at what I'm already doing, rather than developing others. And absent of making that shift, my world becomes really small, really, really small, absent of developing that shift. So I want to leave a powerful seed for us to be in the inquiry, you know, for us to think about, like really reminiscent, like really think about this. Wow, really, there is no growth without people. There's none. So absent of me being interested in developing others and developing myself to develop others, my world will continue to become small and continue to be small and continue to be small. So then, okay, but it is difficult to develop people because people tend to quit. People tend to be ungrateful. People tend to say mean things. People tend to do what people do, right? So it is difficult to just like surrender to the possibility of developing others when there is so much evidence of people doing what people do. And so that's an interesting dance to develop within yourself and to develop within myself, so that we can come to grips, if you will, that in the developing of others, whether they stay or not, whether they make a mistake with you or not, whether they steal with you or not, whatever it is that happens in a relationship with another person, in your developing, in your own development, as you're developing others, no matter what they do, still developing you. It's always developing you, no matter what they do. And like the beginning quote that I started with, remember that quote? He said, great leaders attract great people. The larger you become, the bigger you become, the bigger you can attract bigger ideas. The more you can hold more people in your life, however they are and however they're not, you can hold bigger ideas. And the bigger ideas you can hold for yourself, the greater the talent you attract. Because people, you know, great people are attracted by great ideas, right? So if you want to create a great team, you know, you wanted to develop your, you know, develop a kind of a space for yourself to hold big ideas. Big ideas attract big people. People who, and what I mean by big people, I don't mean better people, right? I don't like the notion of judgment. What I mean by that is people who have already developed themselves, who already have gone through the eye of the needle of growth and development, leadership development, team development, whatever it is that you're looking for, right? They have already done that path. So they're also looking to connect with great minds, people who can hold great ideas. Okay, now this is my last distinction I want to share with you, and then we do a little bit of talking, and you let me know what you're hearing, what are your comments, what are your questions, right? Now, in my experience, and I want to give you a little bit of a grasp of the experience, right, of the teams that I have worked with, and I mean work with teams in Africa. I've worked with teams, police forces, government institutions, nonprofit organizations, companies with 20,000 teams, companies with 10 teams, one-on-one basis in my group coaching, and in events with, at this point, over 10,000 people in person. There is a pattern. There's a pattern that I began to see in people when they're interested in leadership, that when they see it for themselves, they're free to create talent in others. There's a pattern. So I want to talk about the pattern. And I want you to see it as not like the truth, but I really want you to try to find yourself in this. And what I've discovered, and the team and Sorel and I, what we have discovered is that we all have some sort of a jerk syndrome. But the jerk syndrome, it's something that it sneaks up on you. If you didn't develop it, you weren't trying to become some sort of a jerk in life with other people. It just sneaked up on you. You couldn't see it. It just happened. And absent of noticing that, it will use you. It will run you, right? And like I said, this is a pattern that we have talked about in our leadership courses, and people from all walks of life, right? They can really relate to this, right? I've worked with doctors and lawyers, and anyway, it doesn't matter the education. In fact, the more education that you have, the more the jerk syndrome has sneaked up on you. So here's how it is. I want to give you some kind of platform. Remember when you were in first grade? Long time ago, you went to first grade. A long time ago, you were in first grade, right? And you had your first grade friends, and you had your first grade teachers, and you were in that particular school, and you were in whatever town you were, and you were in first grade, right? And you were in first grade, you were having fun, life was fun. And one day they told you you're going to second grade. And the moment you were told you were going to second grade, that very moment, a minute later, at that very moment, you had already a notion, a judgment about the first graders. You had just become a second grader, just become a second grader. There was no committee. You didn't have a meeting with your parents about the first graders, nothing. The moment you became a second grader, you had a judgment and a view about the first graders. And what were the first graders? The first graders, at that very moment, you just became a second grader. What was the first graders? Put it in the chat, or type it on Facebook, or go ahead and tell me. The first graders were what? What do you think, Stan, most children say that the first graders are?
Wait a minute now. Hold on, let me make sure I got this right. I'm thinking about myself the moment I'm going to second grade. What did I think about the first graders?
Yes. Yeah, just
they're kids, man. They're kids. They're kids.
They're little kids, right?
Kids,
just
little kids. That's right, Justin. You're messing about just like little kids.
They're immature.
That's right. They're babies, man.
They're babies. Yeah, they're running around. They don't know anything. They're inferior, right? And you're just a first grader. You're an innocent human being. You're adorable. You're lovely. Your chicks are still beautiful, right? And all of a sudden, you already have this notion of the first graders, and you just became a second grader. It's not like you had evidence for it. You just became a second grader. But at the same time, you already have a notion, a view of a third grader. You're a second grader, but now you already have a view of a third grader and a fourth grader. And what are the third graders or the fourth graders? What did they become to you and your friends?
They're the big boys. They're the big guys.
They're the big guys. They think they're better. They think they know more. They are, etc., etc. As a child, something that sneaks up on us, it's already judgment of superiority and inferiority. It sneaks up on us, and we have language for them. Now, here you are, an adult, trying to grow your business, grow your family, support the business that you're in, and now they make you a manager, or now you are in a leadership position. I want you to see that you do the same thing that the child did. The moment you get into a leadership position, now the people you were working with, now they don't really know, they're not very committed, they don't understand what commitment is, they're not interested in the growth of the company. Now I gotta, right? Immediately, it just happens right away. And then you have a particular judgment and a particular view of the people that lead you. And it happens right away. Now, here's the trap. Here's the trap. What has you be good at something? You become good at something at work. What has you become has you become good at something? It's completely different in what has you become good at leading others. It's a completely different world. The first step is to distinguish for yourself the jerk syndrome. I'm very nervous when somebody doesn't distinguish it for themselves. I'm very nervous when people say, oh no, I see people as possibilities, that everything is possible for them, and then I go and work with them, and then I see how the treatment is with others. I see how the judgment is at work. And it's like there's a gap. So I rather have you just really push you to look for yourself. How do I really treat people? Let me see, like really look, how do I treat people? I was working a very large hospital at some point, and I'm gonna end with this. And I asked some of the doctors that were there, I asked them, so the people that you work with, right? The people that you work with, what's difficult about working with them? And then they said, well, they think they know my job. They think they know better. And they don't listen. And so that immediately, right? Immediately creates those barriers for authentic communication. And they have that notion. Before other people speak. So then I go to the other team, right? And so what's difficult working with doctors? Tell me, what's so difficult about working with them? Before the doctor opens their mouth, they think they're better. They think that they don't value our job. Before a doctor can say something, there's already a notion. So you could see the syndrome already starting to sneak up on one person. And then that's what creates the environment. That's what creates the culture. Notions, evaluations, but not what actually people do. So if you're interested, right, in developing people, developing your family, we want to be more interested in my own notions, in my own views that gets in my way of seeing other people great. This is a quote that has really shifted my life. And I don't remember who said it, right? I don't remember, maybe Stan knows who said it, but it has shifted my life. And the quote is, the way that you see people, eventually they become that. The way that you see people, eventually they become that. So if you see people as creative, great communicators, leaders, they become that to you. They become that because you're around them. If you see them small, stupid, without talent, not commitment, eventually they become that for you. So you want to look around you and see the way people are. Look around. And if you feel that the people around you, right, they're small, not committed, don't have integrity, maybe it has something to do with the way you see them. Maybe, not the truth, maybe. All right, so that was today's Daily Huddles conversation, how to develop your talent of the people around you. And so the notion is, the opportunity is clear. See people bigger than that they are. See people bigger than that they are. And then eventually, they will eventually rise to that standard. See people bigger than that what they are, and they will eventually rise to that standard. All right, so that was today's conversation. Any comments, any questions? Go ahead, Cece.
Hey, everyone. Oh, I just love this. I'm seeing people bigger than they are because people is what makes me better, greater, because I'm able to see myself through through their lenses instead of my lenses. My lenses think I'm perfect and I'm not, but I learned this from other people, and people are so generous to tell me who I am being and how I am being so that I can change and be a greater leader, because somebody's watching and they're looking for greatness in all of us. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, Cece. I appreciate you. Thank you for your comment and your comment, Cece. Thank you. Rashida.
Good morning, Gio. I'm telling you, it's amazing. I get on the daily huddle, and I don't know what I'm coming for, but I always leave with a whole bucket of nuggets, good nuggets. And one of the things that I wanted to emphasize when you say, how do you see the first grader when you're going into second grade? Mind you, in my concept at the time, I went back like a mastermind stand all the way to my first grade. The only thing I remember doing is that how many people I was pulling with me, how many classmates was coming into the same group, and the teacher will be the same teacher that I have in first grade to second grade. So the concept that you was given wasn't the concept that I have. I wanted to get my classmate that I have in first grade to follow me. So that's what I really did not see. Oh, there are first grader who was staying behind. No, I was saying, oh, I want my classmate them to be in the same classroom in my second grade and also in the third grade. So I have my classmate them from first grade to sixth grade. So that was my concept that I really took away from the old concept that you was doing, is the follow people who follow me and until the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashida. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate your comment. Thank you, and thank you. Ronald.
Hey guys, this was really interesting conversation. One thing I really get out of that is the sooner we understand that variation, or we get to understand that we're supposed to grow people, the better our life is. And that's something I mean, you can't expect a first grader and a second grader to get that. But if you do get a first or second grader to get that early, they're going to become, the Barack Obama of the world, or the next president of the world. You know what I'm saying? Because I think there is something in the growth of everyone that if the sooner you get something, the sooner you get the understand this way of living, the sooner you get it, the more you practice it, and the better you get. So I guess for myself, what I really get is there's a point you get in life that you're not going with any knowledge that you have, so you might as well start passing it on, and really be consciously people choose a mentee. I mean, become a mentor and choose a mentee that you say, I'm going to dump this knowledge, and you do something about it. So I think that's, the way you see people is if you start seeing people great. I mean, the other thing I will look at there is like when you're sharing what you know or what you plan to do, and you get somebody that comes along and say, man, we can take this to the next level. And then somebody keep coming at you and saying that you can take this to the next level, and then take to the next level. So again, it's just a matter of people that seeing more greatness in you than you've seen in yourself. So it's definitely a great it's just being aware of that, bottom line, just becoming aware of that. So that's my 2 cents to that conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronald. Yes, and that includes all of it. That includes developing people. Is a constant looking at what the vision is, connecting them what the vision is, connecting them what the mission is. And then there is this aspect of everyone that you see, where you actually begin to see them as people who can rise to the standards that are necessary to develop a vision.
Yes.
And in my ability to be able to see someone who can rise to the standards, they often do. They often do. And the ones that they don't, they usually go their own way. But because I was seeing them, because you were seeing them as someone who could, more often than not, they don't resent you for letting them go, because you were always rising them for whatever they could, whatever they needed to do for that possibility of that vision. All right, Leila, you're the last one. Time flies at the Daily Huddle. Thank you, Ronald.
I'll be quick. You made a statement about great people are attracted by great ideas or big ideas. And I thought about the jerk syndrome and all of that. And in trying to grow people myself, what came into my mind is that when we have these great ideas, when we speak these great ideas and we draw people in like that, we have to put wings to those ideas. And when we don't put wings to those ideas and those ideas manifest, that's when those people drop off. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Leila. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Great to see you, Jasania, Maritza, Cici, Rashida, Elite. I think that's Virtue, Ronald, Stan, Leila. Thank you all for being here. Those of you who join us on Facebook, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Have a phenomenal weekend. And I'm going to leave you with our 8, 10, and 7 from Patty Debronsky and 1 from Dr. Monica Ogando. The first one is love for this weekend. Love. Love those who you have an opinion about. Love those who you disagree with. Love those you cannot stand. Love those who can hurt, who have hurt you. Love those who have left you. Love. Stress less. There's only one life. Might as well stress less. Eat more. Plant-based. Get closer to the trees. Hug the trees. Eat the trees. Eat more of your vegetables and fruits. Laugh out loud, stress your cheeks. It helps you with your wrinkles. It helps you have a long life. Keep laughing, sleep more. Sleep at least 6 hours, 7 hours, sleep more. If you can't read a book, the actual book, not listen, read a book. Your brain will say, okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to sleep. Read something, read a book. You'll go to sleep, I promise. Give everything you got. Give your jealousy away, give your love away, give everything you got. You're not going to take anything with you. Just give, keep giving. And then, of course, and always move. Move every day, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, go to a walk. Everyday walks are necessary for a long and awesome life. And don't forget, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I love you. Have a phenomenal weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. See you Monday.
Peace and blessings, mastermind and family. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Gio.
Thanks to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hace buen día.
Buen día.